What's going on, everybody? GGG has announced another patch coming this week, and we have the full summary and breakdown, so let's get into it. We got private leaks coming to POE2, which will be using POE1 website, and this will not have any extra mods available right now. But if you want to start over, with friends or in the fresh economy, you're free to do so. That's pretty interesting. It's coming this early in POE2. But another one, which is my favorite, is quick use currency buttons on strong boxes and essences. So what we will see is a drop-down menu, if you will, under the Strongbox, and you can choose depending on the rarity of the Strongbox. So Orb of Transmutation or Augmentation, and then also Regal Orb, Alchemy Orb, Exile, that just not Divine, because that would not be worth. So I'm a big fan of that, because every time going into inventory, especially with mobs around it, if you want to go fast, that's pretty annoying, right? Another great one is breach improvements. Holy moly, finally. So short and short, basically what will happen is it's gonna work exactly like Delirium. You start a breach, you kill mobs, all the way until, it ends the duration of the breach. And after it ends, all the splinters will drop on the ground. You don't have to, go on million places and picking million stacks of breach splinters. Straight up, it's gonna appear on your location when the breach ends, and you just loot it all. So, big fan of that. They're also changing the minimum time of breach, assuming no monsters are killed, to 20 seconds from 12 seconds. So that's actually, I would say, pretty good. I like that one. And also, it will depend what kind of monsters you kill. So they made a time extension granted by killing monsters account for monster power. So if you kill magic or enemies during the breach, it will extend the time more than killing normal white monsters. That's also good. So it sounds like we will have more mobs to kill in the breach, so more XP, more loot, I guess. Big fan of that. Another one is the Wisp improvement. So basically, there are two changes. The first one is when you activate a second Wisp while pursuing a one already. I had it happen yesterday, actually. The Wisp will now always target the same rare monster, rather than, chasing a different monster. So you would basically miss one Wisp, but now they're gonna combine together. Was the issue during campaign, apparently, but I had it happen yesterday in the map. And also a big one, which I really like, they are gonna make Spirit of the Spring Hare and Fox. They were too rare. And also the talismans from them are super expensive. The rabbit one from rare or from Hare is like 1300 exalted. It's ridiculous. So now they will be more common. So hopefully the prices will drop. Rogue Exiles are getting some improvements as well. Mainly visibility. I'm pretty sure all of you ran into the same issue where you just see a big fat, health bar at the top of the screen, but you don't see any boss or any exile around you because they're hard to see. So they're gonna make them a highlight, and they will also add a minimap icon. So you will be able to tell that there is a Rogue Exile. That's pretty good. I mean, they die anyway when one of the few hits, so it's still good though. There's some more improvements to drop. They are going to make, finally, perfect jewelry orbs and level 20 uncut and spirit gems more common in drops. Yesterday I hit 1000 hours in this game, and I dropped 2 perfect jewelry orbs, and I dropped 1 level 20 spirit gem. If I'm taking into consideration raw drops, not the research box. And that's pretty wild, right? I mean, 1000 hours in League 1 and 2, so, but yeah, in this league I have about 200 hours, maybe more. That's pretty sad, right? This drop rate, a big fan of that. Especially for SSF players, a very good change. They're also changing the labels to important items if you're not using any item filters, like precursor tablets, expedition logbooks, and chests. They will stand out. Shrine improvements, also a massive change. They're finally disabling Greed Shrine and Corrupted Shrine. Those were so bad. The one that converts items to gold, or all the items dropped are corrupted. So bad. So they're removing those. They're also making them last longer to 90 seconds, and some are 60 seconds. And rare shrines like Diamond Shrine and Divine Shrine will appear far more often. This brings me to a weapon I tried recently on a Rolling Slam Gemling, which you can check in the right upper corner, but I didn't show this Shrine Hammer, but there is this unique. Every 10 seconds, you will get a Shrine buff. This is actually very strong. I'm not sure if you can get 2 effects if you run it in dual wield with Giant's Blood, but I tried it only in main hand, and it's really powerful. And now, especially now, if they will get rid of the bad shrines, this can go really hard. And the damage of this bad boy is also pretty high if you put the blacksmith whetstone on it and also sockets. It's really cool. So I might make a setup with that. Or even on my new build right now, I'm playing Earthquake, instant Earthquake Titan, which you will be able to check out in the right upper corner. I'll do the build right after this video. So this weapon can see some huge potential. I might get one right now before people catch up on that. Next one is new stash tabs, which they will also run a sale for after the patch is deployed. So this is for the omens and audience with king fragments. Oh, okay, it's one stash tab. I thought it's two. Okay. And they're also adding a second one, which is socketable stash tab for the runes, talisman, soul cores. Pretty good too, not too bad. Other improvements, which are pretty huge. So the corridor skill from Arbiter is, far more clear now, more visibility, which is good. They're also adding a bindable action to be able to quickly allocate strength, dex, or int on the passive tree, the small nodes. So instead of you clicking and then choosing and then clicking, so we will be able to do it in one click. It's pretty good. And they're adding more items in the pool from the reliquary key. It's pretty good too. Next up, we got charms to be able to go into flask stash or any stash with flask affinity. And then we have quick travel button for town on the right hand side of the waypoint screen. Pretty good. And finally, we're getting the feature from POE1. If you have more of the same currency, more stacks in the bag, you just control right click and it will deposit all the currency in the trade window if you're trading or your stash, right? So if you have 5 stacks of exalted orbs, which is 100, you just control right click on one stack, everything will be moved into the stash or trade window instead of separately clicking manually on every single stack. So this is my favorite addition probably in this patch. There's also a filter to be able to filter unidentified items by the item tiers. They talked about it in the was it? No, it was in the last week's article as well. So yeah, we'll be able to filter item tiers. And they also fixed 15 separate client or instant crashes. That is a lot. There's been some issues with optimization or like stability with this game recently, so I'm glad they're addressing it, which was pretty crucial. And they're hoping to deploy it by end of this week. And they also have way more changes, improvements to make, and they will immediately start on it after this patch. So improvements to gameplay and quality of life. That's pretty good. That's some good news. I thought recently they're a bit too quiet, but it looks like they're not. They're hard at work, so I'm a big fan for these changes. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I stream every day on Twitch and YouTube. You can come through, hang out and whatnot. And I have a big build coming up, Instant Earthquake Titan. My favorite since last week. I'm back at it. But you guys have a great one. Thank you very much once again. And until next time, peace.